Yo, it's your boy Marcus Scott, aka the Caramel Poppy, and this is Caramel Gaming. You heard? Okay, today we got the Xbox Series X review. After about, I would say, a week and some change with the Series X, it's just been total madness. From, the pre orders, having like 4 or 5 systems in GameStop, to low stock, to scalpers, defects. I was able to get one. Okay, I was able to get one for this review. Yes, I brought it with my own money. Yes. Okay. I'm not that popular. But let's just jump right into it because I'm going to make this quick. I want to make this easy to follow. And let's just get into the size of it. The Series X is thick, is bulky compared to the PS5. I actually have a PS5 in my house, and hopefully I can just get some footage one day just to put it next to each other. Probably for this video I'll probably do it, but width wise, the Series X is thick. Height wise, it's shorter than the PS5. Just to give you some perspective, I did an unboxing video where I actually stacked up 2 Funko Pops, and it's equivalent to 2 Funko Pops. So, if you have Funko Pops in your house and you want to get like a size comparison, that's probably the best way to do it. You probably get something more accurate like that. The Series X, it fits sideways in some entertainment centers. My entertainment center that I have with the fireplace, it actually fits perfectly. But I just have this weird feeling that it will get overheated just due to the fact that I feel like there's not enough space for ventilation of the heat. So what I do, I just, throw the Series X on top of the entertainment stand or center like everyone else does, how you see it in the video. So it's sitting upright in a vertical position. It is mainly built like a PC tower. Most PC towers, I see people sit them on the floor. I see people, sit on top of a desk. You could put it on top of your desk. I wouldn't recommend putting it on the floor or anywhere close to the floor, just for the simple fact of dust. I'm not sure how the cleaning process will work, but I know that dust will get in those fans sooner or later. So you want to just keep that in mind. Just as far as the looks of the system, is a matte black finish. Picks up fingerprints pretty fast, especially when I took it out the box. Oh my god, when I took it out that little foam paper, fingerprint city all over the place. Like if someone broke into your house and they was trying to steal your Series X, you could probably find the person that stole it just based off how many fingerprints was left on the system. It does go away, but your little sweaty hands will pick up on the Series X. There's vents on the top and the back for cooling and airflow. I like the vents. It looks like a regular vent, so to say. Has the green accents inside the vent, which gives it a glowing effect. It doesn't really glow, and you will only see it probably when the lights are on, or you have some lights in your room. Honestly, you don't see it when it's dark, but it's a cool effect. It's cool for what it is. It's a simple design. You have your regular ports, your USB 3.0 on the front. You got them on the back. HDMI ports in and out. You got the power adapter port. Now here it is. No power brick. So on the old Xbox, we had the power brick. Then the power brick will plug into the wall. Then you have the power adapter, which goes into the brick, and then the other end will go into the Xbox. I hated that brick so much. A lot of people actually had power brick problems where the brick wouldn't power on the system, or it won't work. It would die out. In mine, I used to get a lot of dust in it because, it sits on the floor. It sits in the back of your entertainment center. And, even if you clean behind it, it's a little fan or whatever's inside it is sucking in dust. So constantly you have to clean it, and it's a hassle to clean. I would try to clean it with a toothpick. It was annoying, and that's probably why some of those bricks did fail. And with this, you don't have the brick, so you just plug it into the wall, plug it into the Series X, Take your little HDMI cords, you plug it into the TV, you plug it inside the Xbox, and boom, you're playing the game. 2 wires, no hassle. I like that. For the startup was pretty simple and easy. A monkey could set it up, a little kid could set it up. You didn't need instruction booklets and pamphlets. And I mean, honestly speaking, if you have to go on YouTube to learn how to set up a Series X, you probably shouldn't even have it. I mean, unless you're an older person. But on the other hand, it's easy. Now, I am going to say this. You do need an internet connection. Internet is required to set up the Series X. This is not going to be ready to play out the box. So if you're a person that doesn't have internet in their house, you better go to your friend's house, or you better go, talk to your, cable company or internet provider, see if you get some internet set up before you get your Series X. And not only that, but, it's 2020. I would hope you have internet in your house. Not saying everyone has internet, but if you was expecting to get this and play it out the box, no. You better have like 15 minutes for the little update and all that other good stuff. Second, I hope that you have an iPhone or an iPad or a tablet or some type of phone or something where you can download an app. You need the Xbox mobile app. There's actually a piece of paper that actually tells you to download the Xbox app. And with this Xbox app, it actually made transferring my profile much easier than, whatever way they had in their mind. I thought originally you just put your little email in and then you put your password and then transfer. I mean, that's how I thought it would have worked. But the app is good too. I mean, you download the app. It's pretty fast. It transfers over your profile. It transfers over your achievements, your friends list, your games that you have installed. So that's cool. I did notice. Matter of fact, it didn't. No, wait, it did. I'm trying to remember what games I had on my Series X. On my Xbox One. It didn't transfer over my Resident Evil game. So that was a lost cause. Now, I had to go into the system settings, well, not the system settings, into the app and figure out how to switch the Xbox to the home Xbox. And it's a lot of stuff that you have to go digging around, and it's not too complicated. But, just be ready, put some time aside if you didn't already for those games that didn't transfer over. But it transferred over. It was easy. And I didn't have to re-download a lot of games. Most of the games were there. If you have digital games, that's another thing. If you have the digital games, they most likely will go over. I don't have a lot of digital games. I didn't have any games from Game Pass at the time. So all my games were disc-based. So that's probably another reason why it didn't transfer over and I had to do a hard install for those games. After you do that, you're going to have like a little quick system update, which takes about 15 to 20 minutes depending on your internet speed. And then basically from there, it restarts and then you're in the dashboard. Storage is 1 terabyte. It says 1 terabyte on the box. I hate when companies do this. It's not 1 terabyte. If you're going to advertise it correctly. It's 1 terabyte before the update. Well, it's 1 terabyte technically when you take it out the box. After you turn it on and after the updates, you get around 800 something. It's like 820 plus gigabytes. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's more than the PS5. The PS5 promised, I think it was 812 gigabytes. And then after the updates, they get, it was like 500 gigabytes, if I'm not wrong. Or something like that, 600. I'm not sure. But the Xbox has more gigabytes after the updates. Currently, I have 6 games on the system. And basically, I'm left with 325 gigabytes. I have Red Dead Redemption installed, Borderlands 3. I have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Gears of War 4, and Gears of War 5. Gears of War 4 and Gears of War 5 are both digital since they're from Game Pass. And all my other games are just off the disc. So that just gives you an idea. I was left with 325 gigabytes left. The download times are still long, but they're respectable compared to the last generation. So basically, as you hear my cat crying in the background, which you won't go away, shoot. Download times are still long. they're not as long. When I downloaded Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I waited about 45 minutes to an hour before the game was ready to start. Yeah, I was a little disappointed, but it was faster than before. I think on a regular Xbox, it would have been a lot slower. You would have been there for like hours. Sometimes you would have to just let it sit there overnight. It was a little faster. I was able to play the game that same day, so, not too bad, not too bad. On the game side of the Series X, there's zero exclusives right now. Day one, there was no exclusives. There are no exclusives right now at the time of this recording. If you want to consider Gears Tactics an exclusive, cool, I guess. But that's not a game that launched with... you could say it launched with the Series X. I don't know. I'm not a strategy person. That's not a game that I want. That's not a game to test it out. That's a Game Pass game. You can play it on a regular Xbox. I don't care about that. PS5 has 2 to 3 games. If you want to consider Bugsnax a PS5 exclusive, then it will make it 3. If not, they have Demon's Souls and Spider-Man. So they got 2 games. Xbox had Halo Infinite, but as you guys know, it was delayed till next year. So right now, you got Game Pass. Game Pass is the best deal in gaming. You have hundreds of Xbox 360, and Xbox One games available to you. I believe the membership is $45 for 3 months, $15 for 1 month. So it is a good deal because you have access to these games. When we do get first-party games on release date, you will get those games free if you're a Game Pass subscriber. So when Halo Infinite comes out, since I own Game Pass, I will have Halo Infinite day one. That's a plus. So, if you want to test out new games or games that you probably never tried or probably didn't get to and you don't want to spend money, this is the best deal. And I will hope some people get the Game Pass after buying the Series X because it is an expensive system. It's $500, especially in the times that we're in right now. You could get a couple games available to you right out the box. Backwards compatible games they work well. They are pretty good looking from the graphics to the frame rates. Old Xbox One games actually stay capped at their frame rate, so some games would stay capped at 30 if that was the target number. Some games would stay targeted at 60. If they was targeted for 60, they would stay capped at 60. So that's dope. You got 360 games that actually run better. They look better. They actually take advantage of the HDR enhanced graphics. Games like, what was that game? Sunset Overdrive. So it benefits from the HDR enhanced graphics, the resolution. Some games, it's the frame rates. Witcher 3, the load times is really fast. Even on last gen, now it's last gen, which is the Xbox One. Red Dead Redemption 2, load times is way better. Oh my god. That game... Oh, Lord. It looks good. It plays good. It loads fast. I wouldn't mind Red Dead Redemption 2 being a next-gen game. I would have waited for that one. It actually does what it's supposed to do. The fact that they was able to get the game running on Xbox One was cool. It looks better on the Xbox One X, but now it looks even way better, and it works better on the Series X. Games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla is running at 4K 60. That's great. I haven't experienced any frame drops. Probably some real minor ones that you barely notice. So that's one thing. 4K 60, this should be the standard. I think if I see a game at 4K 30, I will cry at this point. All this money that we spent in the system, the games have to be 4K 60. This must be the standard from now on. They set the tone. Games like Assassin's Creed is running at 4K 60. I do not want to see any other game doing anything lower than this. Okay? This is the standard now. For the features, we have Quick Resume, which allows you to switch between games and pick up where you left off. This excludes your online games. So basically, you guys probably seen it before. It's cool. It's a cool feature. Since I only have one, I have a couple games to play, but I'm not the type to switch between games. If I do, I would probably leave like a single player game to jump into a multiplayer game. But the fact that since you need a active online connection, once you leave the game, it kicks you out the lobby. If you jump from Warzone to Forza, then you would get kicked out of that lobby. Normal, that's just regular on online games. So that's cool. It's not cool, but if you're using it for single player games, it's cool. It works fine. It works just how it's supposed to work. I just wish that the little title cards right before the game jumps into where you left off at was a little bit faster. It's fast, but I would just hope that it would just be a little more snappy, like instant. Like, I don't know if you guys played around on a iOS or on an iPhone. I want it to be fluid like that. Like, click into app, it just goes into it. Click into another app. I can have multiple apps open, and then I can switch. I think that's what they was trying to aim for. It works how it's supposed to work. It works at a decent speed, but I would like it to be a little more faster, in my opinion. The Series X runs at 4K 120. This is advertised. PS5 is also doing the same thing. So yeah, hopefully we start getting more first party games at 120. So Halo, the Master Chief Collection actually runs at 4K 120, and the future Halo game will run at 4K 120 online. I'm not sure about the campaign. We will have to see for that one. My favorite feature, installing games from your phone. So like I said earlier, it's already bad enough that the games take long to download. But what if I told you, let's say you're at work, Cyberpunk comes out on December 10th, and you want to buy the game, right? You could download Cyberpunk before you even buy it digital. Yes. Or even if you have the physical copy in your hand and you still got to travel or drive home to work, you could download the game. So that way, by the time you get home, you could just pop the disc in, or you could just pay for it. So let's just say that you're about to go home, pre-download the game. The game will be ready for you. It will be downloaded. All you will have to do is just, put the disc in to finish the rest of the install. Or if you did it digital, then you might just have to pay for it. But the game is downloaded. So that way, by the time you pay for it, you could jump right into the game. You saved yourself a lot of time. You could actually do this from your phone, from the Xbox app. And I did this a couple of times just to see how it works. I did it with my Borderlands 3 game, and it worked. I did it with Red Dead Redemption 2. I went outside. I did whatever I wanted to do. It was, doing that in the background. As a matter of fact, I went to work that day. So in the morning, I did the pre-install. I went out to work, came back. The game was done. All I had to do was pop the play disc in. That was dope. Dope. Game changing. They didn't fix the download speeds and stuff of the games, but it works. The installing from your phone is way better. Faster loading times. So downloads suck. Faster loading times in-game actually they load faster. Assassin's Creed, I wasn't in the Animus for a long time. It loaded up fast. Like I said, Red Dead Redemption loaded up fast. Xbox Series X supports Dolby Atmos. So if you have a soundbar that supports Dolby Atmos, then you could take advantage of this feature, which is dope. Okay. Sorry, I just have like a long list of things so I don't miss anything. Smart delivery on Xbox games. Now, Xbox touted this as a feature. Basically, when you buy an Xbox One game, it will work on your Series X and it will have enhanced graphics. That's smart delivery. So basically, I could go out right now to GameStop and buy, I'm trying to think, Watch Dogs for the regular Xbox, pop it in my Series X, and it would get the Series X enhanced version for free. That's called smart delivery. Now, this is a developer's choice, so Ubisoft opted in. Other people like 2K and Activision from Call of Duty, they didn't opt in, so we're going to get into that later on. But yeah, things to know when you do buy the Series X or before you buy it. The first party games are not coming until 2021. The game that we did have for December, which was The Medium, which was like a horror, survival horror game, that was supposed to come out in December. They actually pushed that back, I believe, until January or early 2021. Not 100% sure on the date, but it's 2021. Game Pass partnered with EA, so now you have access to, I think it's called EA Access or EA Play, whatever it's called. Basically, you can play all of EA's games. So you got the Star Wars, Jedi Fallen Order, Battlefront, Battlefield. I can't think of Need for Speed. There's a couple other games I can't think off the top of my head. UFC, Madden. You guys could play those games for free if you have the Game Pass. I don't know how long this is gonna last, but it's better than nothing because there's no games out. So that was a good move on Microsoft's part. If you're not tech savvy, you need to know this. In order for you to gain the full experience of the 120 frames per second, you need a display that supports 120 hertz. I cannot stress this enough. If you do not have if you don't have a display that is outputting 120 hertz or higher, I don't think you should get the Series X. I mean, if you really want to get it, yeah, you can get it. But if you want to have the full experience, you need that display. You need that TV. I have the LG C10. It should be cheaper for Black Friday, but it's still an expensive setup. If you're looking for something a little more cheaper that matches those specs, you might want to look into either Vizio. I mean, I wouldn't recommend Vizio, but you could look into the LG NanoCell. I'm trying to think of other brands. You might want to check Sony and stuff. They might have like a LED and stuff, but I try to get the TVs that actually work good, that actually have, good not brand recognition, but it just goes with everything I need. I just use my TV for multi-purpose, so that basically sums it up for you. But it's the best gaming TV out right now, so there you go. Another thing to note, this is random, this is my experience. I don't know if anyone else experienced this. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I had the disc version. I went to install it, and as it was installing, it was making a lot of weird noises. It sounded like metal contraption. Like I was in the factory, like it was making mad noise. Okay. After the install, it was working fine. I was playing the games. It's whispered quiet as you play the games. But I just wanted to, I don't know if anyone else had this problem. I haven't heard anybody talk about this problem. It was just something that I experienced. And I just wanted to let you guys know I don't know if that was a defect or hopefully, this doesn't happen often. So, Game DVR catches clips in 4K with HDR. Cool. But it only catches 30 seconds. Yes. So, I wanted to do an experiment to see if I could actually make a YouTube video with gameplay that's captured internally on the Xbox. And yes, you can. The way of exporting it is pretty... I think it's pretty daunting if you're doing it straight from the Xbox. I believe you have to do it through the OneDrive. I'm not a fan of OneDrive. But if you have the Xbox app, you can access your game clips, and I believe you can save it straight to your phone from there. So if you have an iOS device or if you have a Mac, you could easily just save it to your phone, AirDrop it, or if you have iCloud, it's just sync up with your iPad or your computer. So that's cool. But I wanted to do everything in 4K to see how it runs, see how it looks, see the playback. Yeah, the playback looks nice on the Xbox. It looks nice on the phone. But the fact that I can only catch 30 seconds is not helping the case. Yes, I know you could use a capture card, but there are people that can't afford a capture card, or they want to stream, or they want to show off gameplay and start a YouTube channel. Xbox has a cool feature. The game DVR is cool, but I believe at least 1 minute, at least 5 minutes. Hopefully they can fix this in the update. But if you want to catch game DVR clips, I suggest plugging in an external hard drive, and it will let you do 1 hour. You just have to go into the settings, switch it, And yeah, that's about it. And you might have to format the external hard drive, so just make sure there's nothing on that hard drive that you need. Some games won't benefit from the enhanced HDR, such as Fallout New Vegas. So not every game will be supported. Games that take advantage of the Series X and S will have the symbol. Games that take advantage of the Series X/S will have like a little logo with an X/S. Yeah, you would honestly just see it inside the Microsoft Store. Or if you go and filter it out, you can filter out games and it'll show you what games are supported, like such as Borderlands and Call of Duty. So you will have an idea. But honestly, most games, they benefit off the new hardware, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you really want the full experience with the 120 frames per second, or if you want to switch between resolution mode and performance mode, those games and developers will have to go in and, add it. But it will show up if it's supported. Old accessories will work on the new systems. So basically, your old controllers will work on your new Xbox. The chargers will work. All that, the headsets, all that good stuff. One thing to note, controllers use a USB-C now. So your new controller out the box will have a USB-C, not a USB micro or micro USB. This was a problem for me because I have a charger from the old Xbox One, which uses the micro USB. So my battery's about to die, so I had to charge my batteries up. My rechargeable batteries, I have to recharge it via the USB plugged into my old remote, if that makes sense. Take the battery pack out and then put it into my new remote with the USB-C. Yeah, it's complicated. It is. It's not much of a big deal for me. But if I want to play on the go, or if I want to plug and play, I won't be able to do that with the new controller until I buy a new charger. So that's what I'm doing for now because I don't want to buy another charger if I have one that works perfect. External hard drives will work with the Xbox One and legacy games, but you can't use the new features. It's only good for holding games and transferring them. So I don't know if you've seen the videos on these, but the external hard drives do not work. They do work. They're good for holding your games and storing them. But if you want to take advantage of quick resume and all those little nice features and stuff, your external hard drive won't do that because based off the architecture of the Xbox and SSD and all that other good stuff, you basically need the Xbox branded SSD, which is $220. That's another thing to note. You could play the games, it will work fine, but you just won't benefit from the quick resume. So, if you use quick resume or if you, it's probably a problem, but if you don't care for it, then it's good for storing your games. What I usually do, I haven't done it, but what I would do is transfer the games back and forth. The games, they don't take that long to transfer from your hard drive to your systems. It takes like 10 to 15 minutes depending on the game and your SSD. But, that's another option. It's not the best option, but if you want to go and pay $220 for that proprietary SSD, be my guest. I'm not doing that. The Series X/S version of Call of Duty and NBA 2K is $70. The $60 version is the Xbox One version. So just letting you guys know, because my brother was about to buy the wrong version of the game for his PS5. It's the same thing on the Series X. They have 3 versions of the game. They got the cross-gen bundle, they got the regular one, and they got some other bundle. Now, the $60 bundle is the Xbox One version. And Activision is not making it clear enough for people. It's kind of hard to figure out which one is which, especially if you go to get the physical copy, because there's a little sticker in the corner that says Series X and S. If you don't see that sticker, or you're not paying attention, or someone else buys it for you and they don't see that sticker, if they get you the one without it, then now you got the Xbox One version. Another way to tell it apart is by looking at the games that are cross-gen. If it says Xbox Series X first, then that's usually the next gen version. If it says Xbox One/Xbox One Series X, that means that's the Xbox One version. So if you buy the Xbox One version, you won't benefit from the next gen graphics. You won't get if you get the $60 version of Cold War, you won't get 120 frames per second. You won't get all the ray tracing and all the other nice stuff. The one that you need to buy is the $70 one, which is pretty expensive, and Activision is not making they're not making it easier for the consumer. And basically, if you buy it, you don't want to be assed out with a last gen version. So, sorry to say this, if your game is not $70, then you don't got the right one. Boo-hoo. Same thing with 2K. Alright? And that's just it. Alright? And that's my little sum up review for the Series X. Do I think, should you buy it? Here's my thing. If you got an Xbox One, the VCR original, then yes, this is an upgrade. You will see the upgrades, you will see the speed, you will see the difference in your games being played. Do you have a 4K TV? Is your TV 120 hertz? Do you care about getting the next gen experience? If you do, then if you don't have that TV, then the system is pointless at this point in time. I would suggest getting the TV first, or if you plan on getting the TV later on, then yeah, go ahead. Stock-wise, the system is not being stocked a lot. It's selling out, bots, scalpers. If you don't want to deal with that, wait 6 months until they're actually on store shelves, or until you can get a bundle, or by that time they will actually have games ready for 2021. That's another thing. If you looking for the new Halo and you're bummed out, don't buy the system if you're a Halo fan. I mean, not even that, but if you have Game Pass, you could play Halo first day on your Xbox. So if you gotta weigh your options. Do you really need to upgrade? If you have the Xbox One X, then you really don't need to upgrade to the Series X because you already have the 4K graphics. The only thing that you're benefiting on this side is the quick resume, the 120 frames per second, the fast SSD, faster loading times. That's the only thing that you're benefiting from this. If you don't care about the loading times and the quick resume and the 120 frames, then the Xbox One X is perfectly fine if you already have it. But if you have the Xbox One VCR like how I did, then this is a huge jump. Even if there's no exclusive games to bring you in, you also got third-party games such as Cyberpunk, which is going to take advantage of the Series X. So if you're hype about Cyberpunk and you're really waiting on this game, I think the best way to experience that game is do a Series X or PS5, whatever one is your choice. But if you're looking to pick that game up, get the Series X. Should you wait for a sale? This system is not going on sale no time soon. Probably you get a bundle later on, but right now, no sales. So good luck. Okay, hopefully this was able to get a little idea of how the Series X will be. A little reviews, not detailed. This is my first system review, so it's not perfect. But tell me if you guys like the Series X. Are you guys gonna buy it? Are you guys gonna skip out on it? Are you guys gonna get the PS5? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay. This your boy Marcus Scott, aka the Caramel Poppy. This is Caramel Poppy Gaming. Caramel Gaming, whatever you want to call it. Just fucking subscribe and help me make videos, please. I'm out.